Okay, class, we are now in week 7, okay, and this part of the lecture is a continuation from time management. Actually, after time management, we will be able to do our cost management a lot more easier in that sense, because, like I say, besides material, most of the items when we need to calculate, like in terms of construction items, when we need to calculate, we call for the cost, we will be basing it on time. For example, labor, besides the quantity that is required, you also need the time that is required to do the job. Okay, and machineries is the same. Subcontractors, a lot of time we are also basing it on the lump sum contract, but we are also in some cases paying them based on month as well, on a monthly basis. So we need to know how many months they are working. So that is one of the precise reasons that when we talk about project management, resources goes first, followed by secondly time, and then third will be cost. Okay, so then after cost, we'll be moving on to quality and safety planning. So that would be the major big four of project management, the major big four concept in project management. Okay, so project cost management, actually we are learning about how to come up with the final costing for the project. Okay, that is one thing. So in that sense, we are looking at the different type of estimates that you need to learn in order to do costing work for the project. Okay, so basically a project estimates is actually an approximation. It's actually a calculation, a processes. It's actually processes and tools and techniques that is available for you to approximate the cost for or what we call the amount of money or sum that are required for the project to be completed, to ensure for the completion of the project. Costing technique, like I say, costing technique is the background, is the basis of everything. So costing technique we apply to doing estimates, okay, and then we will come up with the approximation of the cost of the project. Okay, and if this cost of the project, this estimation is being approved by a client, essentially that will be turned into a budget for the job. So basically, when we say that in engineering, when we say that to fulfill the budget or to meet the budget or to finish a job within the budget given, we are actually essentially saying that the estimate is being approved by the client already, and you need to stick within that particular budget. Okay, so there's a three words here that needs to that you really need to look into is the word costing, estimates, and budget. Okay, so these are the three very specific words that we have to be very specific about and for you to understand about cost management. Okay, basically we have 4 components here. So we will have the cost planning, which will actually involve whatever you've learned previously. Actually, in fact, for cost planning, whatever you've learned previously already take out about 80% of the work of that you need to do for cost planning. And then cost estimating will be the part that you need to do costing work so that you can come up with the estimates. Okay, and then when the estimates is being changed to approved by the client, it becomes a budget. Okay, and then finally you need to do cost control. Just like time control, you need to do cost control as well. Okay, so basically the technique of costing is the fundamental tools. Okay, so basically when you need to do estimating, okay, so your costing technique, okay, is the essential critical things here that will be built up towards that will be built up towards an estimates. You see, so built up towards an estimates. Let me see, estimates. So this is the essential critical things that we are looking at. Okay, so what is estimating, what is before we, under different type of estimates, there's different way of doing your costing. Okay, so the costing techniques, there's many costing techniques is available, but they all built toward the estimates. But there's different type of estimates, so there's different type of costing exercise that you need to carry out. Okay, so I hope that is understandable to you all, not too confusing. Okay, estimating or understanding the estimates, basically all estimate is a forecast. It's the approximation of the cost or forecast of the future spending, okay, of an engineered construction project, and then it will always be prepared in a very systematic manner and appropriate to the size and complexity of the project and to a certain level of accuracy that is actually matching the available information and the intended use. So that particular section, all these words are very critical. So all estimator must have a system. So if you don't have a system, you are actually not going to come up with a very good way of working. I mean, like the system. I mean, if you don't have a particular system, there will be obvious things that you'll be missing. Okay, and then there will be errors that you may make, and it's very difficult to follow those sort of estimates if it's just like very unruly, very inconsistent, and illogical. So all the systems needs to be logical. It needs to be clean. It needs to be very clear, okay, for you all to actually understand the estimates. Okay, the final product that is available. Okay, so it has to be systematic. So all estimators, they have their own systems. Okay, so obviously if you are doing a very basic estimation and a very detailed estimation, the systems that you use will be completely different. So you can see that the word systems is very important, and like I said, the different costing technique will have different type of systems that will build towards that particular type of estimates that you're looking at, whether it's high level, low level, whether it's complicated, whether it's detailed or non-detailed. So appropriate means that the effort has to be suitable. We do not want you to go through a full exercise of estimation when it's just a very simple inquiry on the cost, But if you're going for a tender, you would really need to come up with a very detailed full exercise of prices to the to the cents kind of thing, you see, because whether you're doing a proposal where you're actually fighting for a client, actually it makes a lot of difference if you can actually estimate to the level of accuracy that is required and also appropriate. So the effort with appropriateness is about the effort. So if you don't want to plug in a figure, you don't want to be simple, it's not a simple analysis, then you need to, if the purpose of the estimates is going to be for something that is more critical, then your appropriateness in the effort will actually matters a lot. Okay, and the level of accuracy obviously is depending on the information that is being fed to you, whatever information that you have. Okay, that one will be very, very important. So with the level of information and the effort, the accuracy will be matched, you see. So appropriate effort plus the information that will be given, the start information of how detailed those informations are available to you, it will determine the accuracy of the final estimates that you are looking at. Okay, so obviously we need to know the intended use of the estimates. If you are only going to use that particular estimates as what we call not a no detail, like a phone call kind of thing, okay, or is actually done by the consultant, or is it going to go for tender in a very tight competitive market, or is it going to be just a preliminary conceptual kind of ideas, that you need to present to the client to give them the guidelines on how the cost will be. So this one, the intended use will be matching to the level of effort, and also the intended use also will determine the level of information that you're going to have is in the initial stage. So the accuracy will actually match as well to the intended use. So again, I repeat, the estimates, there's many types of estimates to be used at different time, okay, at different stages of the project, and that stages of the project, it will involve different type of costing technique, which we'll explain in the next recording. So the next recording will talk about different type of estimates and different type of costing techniques, okay, and be used at different time. Okay, so listen carefully.